Hello, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Tony Sapita. I'm joined by my co-host Nick Barr. Just kind of want to, touch on the COVID bowls and everything that's happening. Obviously, a crazy last couple days and last couple hours. Today on Monday, with the NBA deciding that maybe it's for the best if the Bulls take a couple games off. Kind of let you know who's all on the list and kind of when we can expect everyone to hopefully return. Before we kind of get into that, go check out Bench Mob. We've been, rocking it all season long. We got the shirts, we got the wristbands. There's more information in the link below. Go to www.benchmob.com to get all your apparel and merchandise. Use code J20, JY20. Get 20% off your order. A portion of all sales goes to the Quiet Storm Foundation, which is CJ Watson's foundation. So, Nick, as we kind of get into this, I just have a quick question for you. Are you a medical doctor, or have you ever played one on TV or movie?
No, not even close. The second part, maybe someday, but no.
Yeah, it's a pipe dream. I am not either. I am not a medical doctor. I have not played one on TV. So everything we say is going to be more informational about just who's out and everything. Not going to get into any any of the craziness that's going on. So, Nick, if you want to start us off, I know, speaking of a fun little quote, information, whatever you want to call it. I know Stacey King had some words about what's been going on.
Yeah, and I like that disclaimer, Tony. So I'll kind of piggyback off that. Stacey King, also another noted non-doctor, so keep that in mind. But I wanted to start off with this. He said, quote, "Wow, this COVID is ravaging this team. Is there any team in the NBA that has more players and team personnel affected? This shit is crazy. Stay safe out there because this COVID is real." So he had a little bit of a Magic Johnson moment, we might call that, very much stating the obvious. So for all those folks that didn't know, it's real. And yes, it's very much ravaging the Chicago Bulls. So we wanted to start out with that. Tony, I guess the real news that came out, today as of Monday, like you said, the NBA kind of caved in, and I'll let you elaborate on this in a moment, but and they're going to be postponing the next two games, which this week would be tomorrow, Tuesday, against the Pistons. That would be a home game, and then at Raptors, so we don't have to travel to Canada. And then the next game for the Bulls will be Sunday at home versus the Lakers. So that's the news here. Tony, what do you got?
Yeah, so it was just kind of a weird thing. I know Nick and I were at T-Box, the Christmas bar crawl in Wrigleyville this weekend, and we were that was when the Bulls were playing the Heat. We kept just kind of getting, this guy's out. I know the Heat had a couple of guys out. I don't know if that was actually due to COVID, but it was just like, it was a high school basketball game. It was a pickup game, at the rec center. And yeah, Bulls ended up getting blown out. Of course, we're not going to really break that down because I don't know what you guys want us to say about just a weird loss to the Heat, but it felt weird. The NBA first was like, no, we have this hard, fast, steady rule where it's, if you have 8 guys that are available, to play on the roster, you will play your game. Which was kind of funny that the only reason we met that threshold was because they gave us the exemption to sign Alfonso McKinney to get that extra guy because we didn't have enough guys. And they're like, well, you meet the number. It's like, well, that feels a little backwards. But then I think there was enough backlash. I'm sure they got on the phone. We were talking about AK with the tampering thing, where it's like, hey, you got to be able to have those conversations and be like, hey, come on, Adam Silver, like, just throw us a bone here. And honestly, if you really wanted to get into it too, it makes sense to, like, if these guys just keep getting it, there's clearly, whatever it is, there's clearly an issue going on. And do you really want them traveling around the country? Especially they were about to travel out of the country to Canada, who is even stricter on their different things. It felt weird. It was the right thing to do for the NBA, just to say, hey, let's just all take a breath, let's take a break, give it a week. Maybe, I don't know, they're going to investigate or whatever it is. It just felt weird. So that's I guess we got the Lakers on Sunday. Who knows, if that'll happen too, but hopefully we can get some guys back and
So speaking of that, so now that we got that break of sorts, I mean, that to me, I mean, as much as like, it feels like every day we wake up, there's a new, at least one player, maybe two, where we get the Woj bomb that says, he just entered, and it felt like Groundhog's Day now for the past week. And But now that we did catch a break, that is good news. So that was refreshing. But now we play the Lakers at home, and yes, we don't have to travel to not only out of the country but just at all, which is kind of a huge break, right, for the squad. Um, so with that being said, we got DeMar, I believe, should be back. Javante Green was back today because this will be Sunday the 19th now. Um, Kobe was back yesterday. Derek Jones Jr., that will be his 10th day. So I don't know how that will work exactly. So I mean, I'm sure if he is okay to go, I'm sure he won't play a whole lot. But and then we do have Lonzo, Caruso, and all of our big men actually. So shout out to the big boys. Obviously, knock on one, fingers crossed that they don't get infected in the meantime here, but that's who we'll have coming back. We obviously we'll still be out Levine. So I think that will be interesting to see DeMar have the full. I mean, granted, and we don't have to get super into this, but granted, Levine has been actually really awesome about him kind of being the number one guy. Levine's still putting up as many points as he has been. But I think it'll be interesting seeing, DeMar be the only, our scorer, our lead scorer. So fingers crossed that, those guys get well, come back. Because yeah, man, it was, and, everyone's firing off the jokes, Bulls, the Bulls social media is fired off. Like, get your, tie your shoes, get on, get ready to try out tonight at the UC. So breath of fresh air, Tony. I think we can take a deep breath, I hope. And hopefully we're recovered because listen, we don't need a whole lot to beat the Lakers this year. Let's be honest, folks. We're clearly the better squad here in Chicago. So hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully we don't wake up to another Woj bomb tomorrow and the Groundhog's Day continues. But with all that being said, I think, it feels like, and I don't know why, but it feels like, does it feel like this to you? Like Javante Green, does it feel like we haven't seen him play since like October? I don't know why it feels that way, but
he started off real hot, and that
yeah.
I think almost kind of I don't think it hurt him. I think he's been playing fine. It's just he started off like the hottest man on, like a man on fire, that gif
caught us off guard too.
Yeah, 100%, because he's dunking people through the rim, and then he still had some flashes for sure, but he definitely, like, he settled into his role a little more. And, he definitely had especially when Vooch was out, he played a lot more minutes. He was, the big guy. Obviously, we had, that's when Tony Bradley started playing more and stuff, but he was the guy filling in for Patrick Williams officially. So I do agree with you. It definitely seems like, he's definitely cooled off. I do think he's been contributing fine. I've definitely still noticed it, but he has definitely been dunking less people through the rim. He did almost wipe Portland off the face of the earth. But since then, it's kind of,
he's always got that in him.
It's been a little quiet, but yeah, it will suck. And it kind of helps that we have this depth, but it also hurts that our entire depth is on the COVID list. Because like Io, it'd be great to have Io out there again. It'd be another awesome opportunity for him to start kind of with everyone kind of being out. And it's an unfortunate circumstance, of course, but it is a good opportunity for a guy that normally, we're not going to start him over Lonzo. We're not going to start him over Zach LaVine or anything, but it would give him a chance to get out there, get his shots up, just get NBA ball in his repertoire, starting NBA ball. Alize Johnson obviously was out, that was today. That's kind of what triggered
that was the
whole thing where the NBA said, even though that technically we have enough players to play, which, I don't even know who is. I guess you listed it, but I don't know who would be available to play tomorrow, honestly, at this point.
Oh, if it was tomorrow, yeah.
Like, I know Vooch would be because he just had it and stuff, but it really would just be. We would only have big men, which is ironic.
It'd be like,
because we haven't
Lonzo,
had any
Lonzo, Caruso,
true,
Vooch,
Tony Bradley,
and Marcos Mortich.
and
Dotson.
Dang. Oh, Chicago kid from Kansas. As we established earlier in the year, that would have been nice. Get him a couple minutes when he, I think he's played a little bit this little stretch just because we need warm bodies. Matt Thomas being on the COVID list, that stinks because it would have been a nice.
Well, he'll be back. He'll be back Sunday.
He will be back. All right, beautiful. Dot a couple threes in LeBron James's eye. That'd be sick. And yeah, I mean that's all I got really on this. It's just it's a very weird thing. Like, it's obviously everyone's been dealing with it for the past couple of years at this point, past year and a half now, but it is just
But-
still weird that it's like it's just kind of they're just out. Like it just is what it is. Like you just don't have that on your team now, and there's no hiding from it. Whatever it is, it just all feels it feels weird. And thankfully the NBA finally decided there was a little nuance to this situation, and that it just I don't know if we're just going to talk about fairness. Like we're just playing without our team for 3 games in a kind of an important stretch. Everyone's kind of maneuvering before the deadline. You're figuring out. Do we have to trade for another big guy? Do we need another piece down the stretch? So I don't know. That's really all I got. Well, it's very weird.
Tony,
what you got?
Because we're unselfish. We're an unselfish show here. We're league guys. We're league guys at the core, of course. Diehard Bulls fans, and that's it when it comes to the team. But we're league guys. I just hope this doesn't happen to anyone else. Because listen, we did all the right things. It seems. Vaccinated early, whole team was vaccinated, got the couple, seems like we got the booster for the most part, but hey, listen, I just hope it doesn't happen to anyone else because we're league first. We want to see basketball at the end of the day. That's all we care about. So hey, I hope we bounce back okay from this, but as an unselfish show, we hope that it doesn't happen to anyone else.
Of course, I completely agree. It'd be a real darn stinking shame if it happened to anyone that above or below us, because obviously I don't I'm not trying to say I don't want to single out one team that it could happen to, like the Bucks or anything,
right?
But
no, we wouldn't.
If I were to no, I won't even do that, because again, we're unselfish, and it would be totally not extremely funny if LeBron got it again. And then he had to tweet out double the fish emoji, so I think 18 is what it would have to be, one for every year in the league. And I think that it'd just be Nick, good point. It would be a shame. That's all.
Be a shame. That's all we're saying.
So that will do it for this episode. Just another year, Chicago. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to this fun little update we had to do for you guys. My name is Tony Sapita. Thank you again to my co-host, for Nick Barr. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, Bulls fans, don't get COVID and keep seeing red.